Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Here.
Derek. Here. Katie.
Here.
Lane.
Here. If you'll please stand and join us in the flag salute and prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, today I want to thank you for allowing us to gather and talk about our students at Piedmont. We thank you for the blessings you've bestowed on our district and all the things that we're able to give our students and our parents. We pray for wisdom and for good decision-making, and we thank you for all the teachers that are in our district working hard every day. Just name pray.
Thank you, Neil. And I'd like to welcome everybody, all the administrators and teachers of the year. Appreciate y'all being here today. And we move on to part 2, board reorganization. Discussion on reorganization, and that's typically done this time of year.
Yes, sir. Yes, we just want to see if you guys want to reorganize, and if so, how that's going to work, and that is completely up to our board.
All right, and I'm open for discussion, whatever we want to do.
So I'll start it off with, I think, in particular, I think we have a pretty good sort of crew right now. And so, I mean, I would very wholeheartedly promote Lane as our president again, and Katie as our VP. I just think we have a really good role going right now, and I don't really want to mess it up, but also willing to do whatever I need to.
Thank you.
I second that as well. I feel the exact same.
If we're leaving it the same, do we still motion for every seat?
Yeah, it'll be cleaner if you just motion for each one.
So if we want to, for future sake, kind of reorganize so that next year when we do this, everything just rolls forward. In the last year that someone on the board serves, they'll be president. And so you just work your way through. Then we reorganize the bottom 3, which would make you, since you just got elected for 5 years, that would put you as a member.
Okay.
That would make, I think, you deputy clerk,
Yeah.
me clerk, Katie VP, and Lane president. And then next year, everybody just rolls forward. And that way, you know, each member has time in that role, and it just progresses. We used to do it that way, and it seemed to work well. And if you've got a great board, it doesn't really matter who sits in what seat.
Well,
That's just an option.
I'm okay with that as well. I don't think there's any problem with rotating through. I think it may.
Then your last year,
I think it was like that, but with all the appointments, the timing of everything got weird on everybody.
Right.
And so then we've gotten to where we are now, where everything's kind of out of order after.
We don't have any appointments now, do we?
No, we're all elected
We're all-
now.
So Jared, you're serving the rest of?
3 years.
3 years, okay. So I'm 4 years,
Yep.
5, so 5.
So that way,
Katie's got 2.
next year Katie's, and then
Okay. I'm okay with that as well.
just an option.
I'm
Well,
okay with that. I mean, whatever's best for the board and the schools. I mean, I think that'd make it easy. I'm okay with that.
I make a motion to elect Lane Jones as president of the Piedmont Board of Education for the 2025-2026 term.
I second.
Okay, a motion by Katie, second by Derek. Can we get a vote?
Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
Derek, yes. Katie.
Yes.
Lane.
Abstain.
I'll make a motion to elect Katie Cornman as vice president of Piedmont School Board, Piedmont Board of Education for 25-26 term.
I'll second.
A motion by Jared and a second by Neil. Can we get a vote?
Neil.
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
Derek, yes. Katie.
Abstain.
Lane.
Yes. All right.
So we're making you.
That's what we talked about, but
Okay. All right. I make a motion to elect Jared Moser as the clerk of the Board of Piedmont Education, the 25-26 term.
I'll
I'll-
second.
You can have it.
Motion by Derek and a second by Neil.
Yep.
Can we get a vote?
Neil,
Yes.
Jared,
Abstain.
Derek, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes.
I make a motion to elect Neil Cast as Deputy Clerk of Piedmont Board of Education for the 25-26 term.
I'll second.
Motion by Jared, second by Derek. Can we get a vote?
Neil,
Abstain.
Jared,
Yes.
Derek, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, moving on to item 3, public participation. Pursuant to board policy BEDR, members of the public should be allowed to attend all meetings of the Board of Education. In addition, the Board of Education will have an item on every regular board meeting agenda that affords citizens the right to speak. Any individual wishing to address the board shall sign in with the board minutes clerk prior to the start of the meeting. The president of the board will then acknowledge only those individuals whose names are listed to address the board. The board will set a maximum time of 21 minutes at each regular meeting for public comment. Those wishing to speak will be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers will be allowed to address the board in the order they signed in with the board minutes clerk. The president of the board may extend the time limits if necessary. We've got one, and it's Jonathan Heisman. And you'll, the red button, or the button until that red light comes on.
Got it.
You're good.
All right. Good evening. I'm not acting in any official capacity as a Piedmont City Council member this evening. I'm speaking to the board as a parent, resident, property owner in the school district. I'd like to thank Lane Jones for personally inviting me here tonight to make a public comment. I have some concerns about the possible traffic problems at the location of the new elementary school on Washington Avenue. You may or may not be aware, but the square-mile section of ground the new school is in will have approximately 1,300 single-family homes on it. There are currently 3 subdivisions under construction in that section. Furthermore, 230 acres directly east across Sarah Road is owned by a major home builder that will eventually build over 1,000 homes there. Using the latest data available from ODOT and ACOG, Washington Avenue at the proposed school location has an average daily traffic count of 3,000 vehicles per day. For reference, the average daily traffic count on Washington Avenue in front of the intermediate school is 960 vehicles per day. Given all this, I think it's imperative for the safety of the children and the safety of the public traveling Washington Avenue for the school to pay for a comprehensive traffic study so the layout of the elementary school property is maximized to ensure a safe and efficient flow of traffic on and off Washington and Sarah Road and minimize the number of vehicles waiting in the streets. The cost would be a penny or maybe fractions of a penny on the dollar of the overall cost of building the new school. I would also add that Washington Avenue is a border street between OKC and Piedmont, and that if the school was in the city of Piedmont, a traffic study would be required. I understand that the new school district will have a double car lane and that will be further off the road than any other school in the district. That is a very good start. However, I think this hypothesis needs to be tested, and a traffic study will help test that hypothesis. It will allow you to make changes to ensure safe and efficient operations. Again, for comparison, the high school car line is 2,500 feet long, and there is still a lot of traffic congestion in the mornings, even with a significant number of juniors and seniors not arriving on campus at 7:50. Bradley Carter is the Oklahoma City Council member who represents the ward in which the new school will be located. He has informed me that Oklahoma City is currently planning their next GO bond issue and said that if improvements need to be made to Oklahoma City streets for the school, this would be the time to speak with Oklahoma City about it because they only do bond issues every 10 years. I ask you to please contact him. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I learned that in physics. I studied cause and effect in English and grammar. This is an application of those principles. When the district builds a new school, I think it should acknowledge the effect it has and do everything it can to ensure safety and cause the least amount of disruption. I know my concerns are shared by many others in the Piedmont community. I ask you to please consider the concerns of those who have faithfully supported the school district bond issues over the last 2 decades as the district has continued to grow. It is much easier to avoid problems in the future by planning for them now rather than trying to fix them later. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments, and as you know, we can't respond, but appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, no other public comments, so we'll move on to item 4, special recognition, Teachers of the Year.
Okay, Lisa's going to help us with that. She has a little slideshow for you.
Okay, please join us in celebrating the Piedmont Early Childhood Teacher of the Year, Jenna Smith. If she'll stand, please. Mrs. Smith is in her 5th year as a school counselor, 4 of those being at ECC. Jenna says she hopes that each child that she has had the privilege of walking alongside remembers how she made them feel. Each student is Jenna's why. Their emotional well-being is why she shows up every day, why she embraces the hard things, and why she continues to advocate for social emotional resources in our schools. Jenna Smith, ECC Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Angie Dial, Northwood Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Dial is in her 15th year of teaching pre-kindergarten to our Wildcats. She believes her greatest accomplishments as an educator are truly being present for her students, showing up every day and putting all she has into loving them and learning how to motivate them to be the very best they can be, even as little pre-K people. Angie Dial, Northwood Elementary Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Park Pennington, Piedmont Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Pennington is completing her 3rd year of teaching. She currently teaches 2nd grade at PES. Her commitment to individualized instruction and advocacy is at the heart of her philosophy. Every student has unique strengths, challenges, and learning styles, and Mrs. Pennington knows that it's her responsibility to recognize and nurture these differences. Park Pennington, Piedmont Elementary's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Lacey Bates, Stone Ridge Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Bates has served in a variety of roles over her career. For the past 3 years, she's been part of the reading support team at Stone Ridge Elementary. Mrs. Bates wants her classroom to be a place where students feel safe, supported, and inspired. No matter what challenges they face, they have someone in their corner who believes in them. Lacey Bates, Stone Ridge Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Haneen Schwareb, Piedmont Intermediate's Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Schwareb is completing her 5th year as a special education teacher at Piedmont Schools. Haneen says her proudest moments come from helping students who initially struggled to find their confidence and voice in the classroom. She's seen firsthand how every student can thrive when given the right support, encouragement, and care. She's had the honor of supporting her students and families in a holistic way. Haneen Schwareb, Piedmont Intermediate's Teacher of the Year. And now I will pass it on to Mr. Melton for secondary.
Mrs. Erin Fluman, Middle School, Piedmont Middle School Teacher of the Year. Ms. Fluman is in her 2nd year of teaching math at MSP after 6 years of teaching in Texas. She reflects on the powerful phrase, as a friend shares with everyone she meets, "Go be great." She says every student has unique strengths, and her goal is to recognize those strengths and give the tools to grow inside and outside of the classroom, and ultimately have the curiosity and resilience to go be great for themselves and the world around them. Erin Fluman, Middle School of Piedmont Teacher of the Year. Miss Jenny Ludwig, Piedmont High School Teacher of the Year. Miss Ludwig is in her 2nd year of teaching Family and Consumer Sciences at PHS. Each day, she consciously chooses to approach the day with enthusiasm, resilience, and positivity. Teaching facts provides a platform to instill a belief in students that they are not passive recipients of life circumstances. When a student leaves her classroom, they are all empowered to make informed choices, define their ideals, and construct the lives they envision. Jenny Ludwig, Piedmont High School Teacher of the Year.
Thank you very much, and we appreciate all the things you do for our kids and really making this a great district to be a part of. And I know I don't just speak for the kids, just even as a parent, but for the staff and your professionalism. You are also a vital tool in recruiting and helping us keep good teachers here in Piedmont. So thank you very much for your service, and congratulations. Anybody else want to?
No, I agree. Thank you for all that you do for our students and community. You guys do an amazing job.
Congratulations.
Yep. Congrats. Best of the best, right?
Congrats.
Now, you'll probably want to stay for the entire meeting, but if you choose to forgo our offer to do that, you can leave now. That's also okay. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you.
Thanks for coming.
Kids are like, let's go.
You won't hurt our feelings.
We know these are invigorating meetings.
All right, we'll move on to item 4, presentations. We got a construction update. You're making your way up there. Jacob Lingo and Sean Willis.
You're on.
Yep. Okay. Got a few items to update the board on construction projects. This first few slides are of the new elementary site. This is showing the entire 42 acres, relocating the elementary from the site we had it on to this corner, again on 164th. This is phase 1. I have a slide showing kind of future growth here I can show you in a second. But it takes basically the exact same site layout, building layout that we had, and just slides it over for cost, time, efficiency. This is a blow up of it. So in phase 1, it basically keeps the same ring road that we had before. The little ant-looking things are cars. So what we're doing is showing the way we can stack cars on site. It was a concern just now. So the plan is to double stack drop off around the building. We come all the way around the building to the east side where the drop off is. We can get 100 cars stacked on site, which is probably the most you might have on any of your facilities currently. We also have a third lane entrance that we could bring a bus in so we can stack cars farther back towards the street. Bus drop off is in front. So, and then we have another, I think, 13 cars to be able to stack after they drop off as they're waiting to get back onto the street. So playground area and site is the same, and we're still showing future classroom layout to the bottom, planned growth. This is what it could be if it was in a middle school or another intermediate, just showing another school location that we could add on site. If it were to be a middle school, this is showing, football track, baseball, softball, tennis, maybe futsal. So we can fit all those things on the site. So it's got a lot of room for growth, and both sites would fit comfortably. And if we did that, what we would do is stagger drop off and pick up like we were doing at the intermediate. So we could, once we add those additional roads, we can pick even more cars on site. We'd bring the elementary down further and around. In the middle school, we could also ring around the elementary school site, picking up quite a few more spaces for drop off and pickup. Any questions about the elementary?
The orientation is the front facing
The front faces the road, faces north, correct. So we have visitor parking in front, and we have kind of staff kind of overflow parking onto the side where the students would come in the morning.
Is the reason that it sits where it sits just because that was the direction it was facing on the other site? Or is there a reason on the site that
we looked at
sitting
both.
on 164th is better?
We looked at both. The main reason is cost and site utilities. So if you remember the other site, we didn't have any sewer or water at the site. We were going to have to bring it to the site. This one does have sewer and water, and they're on the west. So if we were to place the school down here, we would have to bring sewer and water all the way to the corner and all the way down. Be a significant amount of money that wasn't planned for in this bond. So if we do a project there in the future, we can plan for it appropriately, have the money when we need it. And then all we're doing is extending from our site down to that corner. So this saves a lot of money by doing it in that corner.
Thank you.
And that is one of the benefits of this site, is that we do have utilities on site, or right along the property line here, so we don't have to do any extensions. This slide is of the parking lot project that I think is being approved tonight, correct? At the football stadium. This is just showing, I widened out the area of, we have some kind of planned future growth if we need it in the future. But the area in gray is future parking, and this is the existing parking over here on the side. It's got lights, so and we're doing the drive all the way out to the street. So that'll all be paved, parking lot lights to make it safer, more organized for games. Then these are a few sites maybe Jacob could touch on. There's like 4 or 5 photos of the intermediate. This is the dirt work going on out there. If you've been, I don't know if you've been by, lots of big pieces of equipment, moving dirt for quite a while now.
So this next month, you see the artwork obviously taking place right now. This next month, we'll start into foundations and then also go vertical with the storm shelter over about the next month and a half. So you'll have vertical work standing up. Earthwork should be nominally completed for the first pad by the end of this week, and then pending the rains this coming week, we'll essentially start in on foundations. The second pad will be the storm shelter for Stone Ridge. That won't start until after we can do the demo of that existing road after school ends.
And that's it.
Any questions on?
Sean, can you go back to that first slide and talk about, I'm sorry, go to the second one. Well, that one's, can you talk about the utilities come in the northwest corner, is that right?
They
Or
do.
Come down the,
Yeah, water comes in on the corner.
Yeah, there's water already up there at the northwest corner. We'll have to take it across the front of the site, along 164th, and then we'll, essentially that'll be at the end of the water. We'll do a loop around the building internally. And then sewer is already on the west side. More than likely, we'll end up taking that out the western face, not necessarily along the roadway.
The sewer most likely will step straight across and take up over here. We're gonna do some things with lot splitting so that we only have to take the utility of the water across the part we're developing currently. Otherwise, the city wants you to take it across all of your frontage, so we're gonna work with them on limiting that, so that's why we're gonna kind of cut off right there. The blue lines you see there, I didn't explain, that's floodplain, so there'll be a flood study. That road was repaved, and so we're working with the civil engineer to kind of verify where those grades are, but we can't build inside that zone.
I was just thinking about utilities for future and how you could be set up for the future as
Well, we would just continue all the way across to the corner there and down. We want to ring the road, ring the buildings anyway for fire, for the fire line, the water line, we'll ring the building anyway. And then sewer, we can just come down and across as well, so it really is in a good place.
Good.
And you referenced this, you said this will probably be the biggest stack that we have, like car stack.
Just off the cuff, on my, kind of in my head, I think it probably is the longest you have in any of your current sites.
Well, and as everybody knows, I mean, this is a nightmare right here, you know, at 7:45 in the morning. But, you know, that's, you know, this is a completely different, this is in a different ballpark from the standpoint of it's not isolated as much. You know, this is a come in and come right out, this, you know, on the same road. And when you can stack cars to that ability, your confidence level has to be up that we can minimize the impact of traffic.
It is, and it is very difficult. I mean, most elementaries, 10 to 15, 18 acre sites, it's virtually impossible to say there'll never be somebody on the road. You know, depends on how early somebody gets there, what's going on that day, how soon that stacks up. I mean, that's a kind of an unknown. But to have 100 cars is probably one of the highest sites we've had, not just in Piedmont, but in our firm's projects. And again, it'll get even better when you expand the site, and you'll get even more traffic off. And in that case, with the other school, you may be even able to bring people in both directions, so they're not just on 164th, you'll be on Sarah as well, so you can kind of split that traffic flow.
One more thing about that. So at PI, where we have for about 15 minutes, we have cars out on the public road. We double stack just coming south to north. And we're guessing we have about 50 cars in the stack that's on our property. We've got twice that many here, and PI has about 900 kids, and when we open this, it'll open at about 450. So we're going to have about half as many cars coming and twice as much opportunity for those cars to be off.
And it's
the-
gonna free up traffic at other sites as well,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
we're pulling kids from.
it certainly will at PI, because PI's now, half of those people are going down to, to the other PI.
Do we know the data on how many kiddos are bus riders versus car at most of these elementary type sites?
I don't have that. Josh would. Josh is out sick. But what would be a good guess? We have about 350 kids at Piedmont Elementary. That is, what do we have, 2 or 3 buses that go there? Tyler, how many buses do you have? Yeah. 6. That's a lot. We have 72, those buses ride 72. So at the intermediate, you guys, where are my intermediate people? A lot. Just make. So. There's going to be a lot of bus riding kids. There's no way to be able to tell you for sure, but we can guess based on our, I want you to look up there in the top left corner. So Sean worked with me all day. I sent his work back about 3 times, and he was really nice about it. I didn't put any marks on it, but up there in the top left, we're stacking all the way out to 164th, and we put in a bus lane. You see it over there to the right? So even if the buses come later, then all those cars, the buses can get in. They pull right up in front of the school there, and they drop off and pick up. So this is not pretty well, this is very well thought out. Engineers did this, architects did this, and I think it's going to be a great plan. And we've got room on the backside of that. Let's say that every parent there brought their kids in a car every day. We've got the ability to do more if we needed to.
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're going to deal with traffic. That's the bottom line. And you can't eliminate it. It's how you mitigate it. And it looks like that the thoughts that have gone into planning this have, really taken that into account. And like I said, you're not going to cover every scenario. You're not going to get the parents that show up at 12:30 for a 3 p.m. dismissal. But that happens. And
Well, hopefully they're at the front down there.
yeah, get at the front, move them up.
Big on them.
So it's just mitigating, and I know that, in a district like this, it's just, and with 2-lane roads, I mean, we're limited to where we can, number one, buy land because the price of land is such a premium, and number 2, our infrastructure with roads, a majority of our roads are 2-lane roads.
Lane, I want to tell you one more thing. So this was one of our biggest problems at the start of school. A lot more parents drive their kids to school the first week of school than drive their kids later, for a couple of reasons. One, they like to drive their kids and drop them off and kiss them goodbye. The second thing is when they see the car rider line, they're like, you can ride the bus. So I text every metro superintendent all the way north as far as Guthrie, south as far as Norman, west as far as El Reno, and Choctaw to the east. And I ask them, do you have cars for some period of time on public streets at your elementaries and intermediates? Everyone, yes. We're doing everything we can to keep those cars off. We may get them all off there. I can't tell you. We'll encourage our parents not to come early, but at the end of the day, that's a good plan.
Well, and part of the reason there's so much traffic on Edmond Road is the sports drop off and the high school starts so much earlier. The elementary schools start later on purpose, partially for bus routes and all of that, but it's also going to be after most people are leaving for their morning commute, in my mind, if we're starting at 8:30, 8:45, right?
8:30, right? 8:30. That's what I said, 8:45.
I gave myself a range to, to miss it.
What other questions do you have for these two?
Nothing. I think that's a very detailed and great plan. I hope it puts ease to community members. about the traffic issue. I wish the gentleman who had the concern stuck around to see this, because I think this would have answered a lot of his questions.
Well, and I can tell you and I've expressed this to everybody at this table. I'm impacted directly. I live right across the street. I think my house is the closest to the property line out of anybody else in that neighborhood. Other than the people who live there now, my house would be the closest, so I'm directly impacted, and I feel very comfortable navigating this as a resident. So school's got to go somewhere. We have to put our kids somewhere. And in a district the size, the challenges that we face in acquiring land and transporting kids, I think this is a good plan.
That's Oklahoma City, right?
Yes.
So 164th is Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
that's
we're
there.
still in Oklahoma City.
So with so many homes and so much being developed, maybe they're looking to 4-lane as a city. 164th one day.
North side's people.
Well, and I think that was, since we have the opportunity to say it now, I mean, I think that is a good point. If Oklahoma City's about to bond, that we make sure they know where this is going. So if there is an opportunity to help us on one side or the other, they have that opportunity.
Well, and our engineers are in touch with Public Works through this process
Yeah.
to design the site. And so we'll have those discussions with them, with their traffic engineers as well. Don't know if it'll go anywhere, but we'll certainly make them aware.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, moving on to item 6, is that right? Item 6. Business items, Part A, discuss and take possible action regarding contract with S&D CPAs Associates, audit contract renewal for 24-25 audit.
Same group that we used this year. They did a nice job. We'd like to use them again next year. They're on the state-approved list, obviously.
I'll make a motion, we approve the contract with S&B CPAs and Associates audit contract renewal for 24-25 audit.
A second.
A motion by Derek, and a second by Jared. Can we get a vote?
Neil?
Derek,
Yes.
what,
You're up now, aren't you? How about?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes, Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, Part B, discuss and take possible action regarding license subscription with Mosile MDM 1K12 mobile for mobile device management system for remainder of fiscal year 25.
Tommy's going to try to dumb it down a little bit for us,
I
but
dump it down.
So all a mobile device manager does is it manages all of our endpoints, so all of our iPads, all of our computers across the district. It ensures theft prevention, allows us to push apps and programs, any policies that we need to push out. That's really it.
It's that simple.
I'm not even sure what he just said, but I'm sure it's
he's done his
very
negative.
essential.
I move that we approve the license subscription with Mosul MDM 1K12 mobile for mobile device management system for remainder of fiscal year 25.
I'll second.
Motion by Katie, and second by Jared. Can we vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes, Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, moving on to item C, discuss and take possible action on proposed payment of extra duty stipends as listed on attachment D. Incremental stipends not listed in negotiated agreement.
So these are just another set that we're not in the negotiated agreement, that these people are doing the work, and this has been the standard practice. We just need to get it all into the agreement. Patty, do you have anything else to add? Do you have any questions?
I was excited to see some extra duty stipends for Winter Guard because I know that was kind of a growing program that grew really quickly and was quite a big time commitment. So I was happy to see that we got that brought into the mix there. I'll make a motion that we approve the proposed payment of extra duty stipends as listed on attachment D.
I'll second.
Motion by Katie, second by Derek. Can we get a vote?
Derek?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. All right, Part D, discuss and take possible action regarding guaranteed maximum price amendment for Stone Ridge Shelter Addition, a new intermediate school project, guaranteed not to exceed $33,720,724.42.
It is what it is. It's the total price of the shelter at Stone Ridge and the new intermediate together.
That's, taking into consideration, I guess that the adjustment was because of cost, just like going up with tariffs. and
Well,
stuff.
we put those two, it's gonna be cheaper for the district if we put those two projects together. We had them separated out, the shelter and the intermediate. They're on the same, basically the same lot, and so we can use some of the same trades at the same time to build both of them. It just makes sense.
I make a motion regarding the guaranteed maximum price amendment for Stone Ridge Shelter Addition and new intermediate school project, guaranteed not to exceed $33,720,724.42.
Second.
Motion by Jared, second by Derek. Can we get a vote?
Derek?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. We're moving on to item E, discuss and take possible action regarding guaranteed maximum price amendment for Piedmont Athletics Parking Lot Addition Project, guaranteed not to exceed $1,026,664.
It's just,
Worth it. Yeah, it's nice.
When are they trying to, I guess I should have asked them. Do you know when they're trying to do that lot?
yes, it'll start in May, and we'll have it done, the projected August 1st.
Just in time for football.
Very impressed, and I know that off the top of my head.
I am very impressed.
Can we not fix the road too? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, oh, we are fixing the road.
No,
The road going in.
No, I'm at 178.
Oh,
No,
no, we're not taking 178.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
That's a,
Let's go back in.
I hope the pothole hits on our side.
But approving that road going in,
78 down, it's gonna be a brand new road, it's gonna have flat, shoulder
Yep.
flat.
we're just gonna,
be great. Yeah.
we're just gonna turn that grass into paved parking lot, right?
That's right, all the
Okay.
way up to where it starts to really dig
Mhm.
down. And if we were to add on to that, let's say we did another round in the next one, we'd have to bring dirt in.
Okay.
Level that up, make it happen. But right now, we're kind of getting everything we can. And it's so much more than what we have, because we have a lot of people that park on it.
Be a lot more organized too.
I'll make a motion that we approve the guaranteed maximum price amendment for Piedmont Athletics Parking Lot Addition Project, guaranteed not to exceed $1.26664 million.
I'll second.
Motion by Lane, second by Jared. Can we get a vote?
Derek?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. All right, moving on to item F, discuss and take possible action in the absence of the president and/or clerk to appoint an acting president and/or acting clerk for the school district to execute any and all documents pertaining to setting the maturities, date, time, and place of the bond sale.
So this is in the event, this is an insurance policy for Board. Board likes to have, in case that you and the clerk are gone, something unforeseen, that we still have two people that are gonna be here, it takes at least three of you to have a quorum, so we would still have enough people that are authorized to sign the documents, because the bond, the people, when we sell the bonds, they want those signed that same day, like the wet signature, so we need to, he's just make.
So do we insert a
So
name?
we just need not
Okay.
you, yeah,
Okay.
we just need.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, not the president, not
I
the
got
clerk.
it. I make a motion to appoint Katie Cornman as acting president and Neil Cass as acting clerk, should the president and/or clerk be absent, so the district may execute any and all documents pertaining to settling the maturities, date, time, and place of the bond sale.
I'll second. Motion by Jared, second by Lane. Will you vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Do I abstain here?
yes. Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, moving on to item G, discuss and take possible action on a resolution determining, excuse me, the maturities of and setting a date, time, and place for the sale of $11.925 million taxable combined purpose building bonds for this school district and designating bond counsel for the issuance of bonds.
So that's May 21st at noon. That's what we said.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution determining the maturities of and setting Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, at 12 p.m. at the Piedmont Administration Building located at 615 Edmond Road Northwest in the boardroom for the sale of the $11.925 million taxable combined purpose building bonds for this school district and designating bond counsel for this issuance of bonds.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Lane, second by Neal. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. Right, moving on to item H, discuss and take possible action regarding supplier agreement with BSN Sports for the 25-26 school year.
Mr. Schellenberg is going to share with us.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of research on going from Under Armour, and we would like to go to Nike. We've been doing a lot of research on it with branding and those types of things, and Under Armour's been good to us for about 9 years, I believe, but we feel like it's gotten kind of stagnant. We think Nike would help us with our overall branding. We think it would help attract student athletes and coaches as well. Nike's something that's just never really died down, and Under Armour, like I said, has kind of gotten stagnant a little bit. There's some other, obviously, incentives to that, to going to Nike as well. Under Armour kind of has a set number based on a percentage, whereas Nike has a set number every year, and then they also add that percentage as well. And then also some buy one, get one free uniform options for a couple of our teams.
I mean, I for one thing, I'm excited about this one.
We are too.
Has it been 9 years since we did the Under Armour? That's
I think it was 2016, yeah.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get the Jordan logo with our Nike logo too?
We're not quite that cool.
Oh, man.
We don't have Trey Young like Norman does.
Yeah.
Good work. I like it.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve action regarding supply agreement with BSN Sports for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
Oh, go ahead.
Motion by Neal, second by Jared. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, moving on to item 7, consent agenda. Discuss and vote to approve all consent items. These items may be approved by one board motion unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. Any questions on the consent agenda?
I will say that we are very fortunate enough that we are getting a rock star as a cheer coach. She is, she's just a rock star. So I know our community and our girls are going to be very pleased by this decision.
That's great. Yeah, that's.
Kudos to Coach Coleman.
Well, I was going to say.
For getting it done.
Say, don't hold it against her that she's sitting by.
Oh, I didn't even. Well, that's a punishment in itself, but
I will say I'm, I think, the only board member in compliance right now. Board member training points. Still got plenty of time, though. Still got a month.
Well, I don't think me
Right.
and Derek are either, so.
hey, I'm getting mine done
I
next
thought
month.
I was in compliance until renewal,
We
until
just
mine
got
was
elected.
re-upped.
Right.
I mean, what are we, a
Probably
month
are.
into
Only
it?
if I
Yeah, we got elected.
rerun, I need
less
more
than a month.
hours.
Less than.
But I need confirmation of that. Is it in here?
Sandy can get you confirmation.
Okay.
And I'll be in compliance after mine next month, correct?
But good job, Wayne. You have
So,
them,
yeah.
but-
You won't be able to say that next meeting, Lane.
Shots over there.
Shots fired.
I make a,
Any
say what?
Any other questions or comments
Nope.
on the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve consent agenda items A through K.
I'll second.
All right, I got a motion by Derek and a second by Neil. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, moving on to item 8, financial report.
Okay, if you will go to the graphs, we'll start with general fund. Total collections from last month to this month are up 2.76 million. And you can see our year-to-date over collections continues to grow, so we're up to $808,653.27. Questions about general fund? Okay, then we'll move over to building fund. Our total collections there are up $31,024 from last month. The tax revenue is starting to slow down as we're entering into April. So that was expected to happen because most people pay it right at the beginning of the year. So that's kind of why you're seeing the total collections not be as high in building fund. And then child nutrition fund. The biggest increase in revenue from last month was we received $145,000 in federal claims, so that is in that column. And then bond fund, we've had no change. And sinking fund, we deposited $181,000 in taxes, and that's the only change there. Questions about anything?
Jennifer, as I recall, the last meeting with the auditor, we had some unused funds for child nutrition that came from COVID money. Is that correct?
Yes,
Do we have plans to use that somewhere?
we do. It'll go into equipment in the new buildings.
I think you probably explained that
We did, but we love explaining it again.
to me. Yeah, that's what I get from all this.
Well, and you knew the answer. That's good.
Anything else for Jennifer?
We still tracking good with the expected revenues?
We are, yes.
There were some actions from the auditor. I guess we've got actions around some of that audit stuff and putting that stuff into play with.
Yes, we had 2 corrective action plans to write. Those are done. They've been turned into the State Department, and they were already accepted. Our audit was approved.
Good job.
Any other questions, comments? No, thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on to item 9, executive session. Part A, vote to convene or not to convene into executive session for the purpose of discussing employment is listed on attachment C, 25 OS 307B1. Discussing reemployment of certified staff is listed on attachment B, 25 OS 307B1.
I vote that we do not convene into executive session.
Motion by Derek.
I'll second.
Second by Jared. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, no action was taken. Part 10, action item, discuss and take possible action on employment is listed on attachment C.
Make a motion, we approve the employment listed on attachment C.
I'll second. Motion by Derek, second by Lane. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, item B, discuss and take possible action on reemployment of certified staff is listed on amended attachment B. I make a motion that we approve.
So the
Sir.
only amendments are in yellow, is that right?
Make a motion, we approve the reemployment of certified staff is listed on amended attachment B.
I'll second.
Motion by Lane, second by Neil. Can we get a vote?
Derek,
Yes.
Neil,
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie,
Yes.
Lane.
Yes. All right, item 11, new business.
No new business.
All right, item 12, superintendent's report.
So just about a little over a year ago, we had a bond vote on April 2nd of 2024. And I sent out an update about all the things that we had done, but I thought for maybe people that didn't read that, because not everybody reads my emails, I understand, then we'll just go through a few of those. So the new land is under contract. We'll work in the next month or so to get that sewn up. We've got a really long driveway. You saw that, that we're going to double stack cars in and get most, if not all of those drop off and pick up on our property. New intermediate, the work's begun. If you have not seen the turf in our elementary schools, you need to drive by. They look really, really good. They are currently working out behind the admin building here for these guys that are in our daycare. And they've been playing on rocks for the entire time they've been here. And so they're going to have turf too. It's going to be really good. The safe rooms at the elementary start will finish, we think, by March of 26th. So about storm season next year, we'll have all of our kids in storm safe shelters. It's a good thing. Buses, some of the buses are in, but we have all of the buses are going to be in by June of this year, and that's a good thing. So we're sending some buses that were on lease back, and we'll have at least, well, we'll have 10 new buses that'll be route buses starting the year, for the new school year. So we bought 2 trailers for the band in the bond. The first one is a bumper trailer, and it's here. It's already arrived, custom made the way Mr. Yonke wanted it. The semi-trailer is being built, and it's a custom made product too. It's probably not ready. He couldn't give me a finish date on that, but we hope to have it for the next year, for the band season next year. And then they have put out an RFP, or in the process of putting out an RFP, request for proposal for band instruments, and that was all part of the bond as well. Technology upgrade, everybody's got to be happy about the fact that we're going to have new intercoms in every school. And we had some really not cooperative intercoms in a lot of our schools, including the high school, which is a safety issue besides not being able to get a hold of those classes. So most of those are in. We've got PI, ECC, and Northwood that are still in progress. Our technology guys are awesome. So any place else, most any place else that you put in security cameras, you're going to have the vendor come and put those in. Our guys are putting ours in, and they've put all of the interior cameras in already. Now they're putting in the exterior cameras. That saves us so much money. We were able to put more cameras, higher quality cameras in because our technology guys can do that work. It's fantastic. I know, I'm as surprised as you are about Tommy. Right, just don't worry about it. Special thanks to Tommy and his team for doing the installation. You saw the parking lot. I'm really excited about that. You know, when it rains, a couple days before game, it's a mosh pit out there, and this is going to help, you know, a lot of folks be able to park on pavement. We had 18 new kids, new Wildcats show up since the last, we talked about this in March, and we are happy that they're going to be with us, and they've chosen a great place to educate their kids. So we're up 54-18, that just fluctuates. And we're very proud of this group. They attended the RTI at Work conference here in the city last 2 weeks ago, and 40 of them. RTI stands for Response to Intervention. And so what, Jared, you need to pay attention to this because you like data. This is about data. This is about knowing where your kids are academically, and we do that by assessing them, and then we determine what we're going to do to help them get where they're going, where they need to be. And now we've got a nice solid start. This is probably the best conference I've ever been to. It's fantastic. And we've got 40 people highly trained in this district that we're going to work our way through the entire district doing this very thing. We'll send more people as time goes on, but when the RTI conference comes to Oklahoma City and we don't have to pay for lodging, it's a great opportunity. So we got some really good PD out of that. And that concludes my report.
Thanks for doing that. I love making an investment, right, in our staff.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that, because our staff feels invested in. What we hear from people is, thank you for sending us to that conference. It was so good. Thank you for doing all the summer stuff. Brenda, maybe next week I'll have her. I've sent the information to you. Maybe we'll have her do it in the meeting. But she's got PD going that we're providing, that our teachers are providing to our teachers 1 or 2 days a week, all summer long. Teachers just come, they sign up if they want to come. It's really, what we want is to highly train these people, and they're eating it up. They love it.
My son is very thankful for the turf at Stone Ridge, and so is his laundry. So I'm very thankful for that as well. Kids eat that up.
Good stuff. Thank
Yeah,
you.
great,
Appreciate it.
great meeting.
Moving on to item 13, adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Motion by Jared and second by Derek. Can we get a vote?
Derek?
Yes.
Neil?
Yes.
Jared, yes. Katie?
Yes.
Lane?
Yes. Time is 6:57.